And our crew's making their approach. We've got a guy standing on the rear swim deck, a couple people standing up in the cockpit. We got fenders out. Our guy's got a line, but it's not attached on the stern, which is kind of risky that he's even standing back there holding onto a line that I'm pretty sure is attached to nothing. I don't understand the point. If you're going to stand back there, go ahead and hook the line up. But here we go. They're going to make their approach. Our guy in the stern, more interested in dancing than getting the line attached to the boat. And Cap's coming in a little hot. Got to be careful. He's going to probably have to brake check this one as he comes in to get it to slow down. And his buddy's telling him to slow it down. Jumps off, kicks the boat out. They throw the line. And our guy, was the line attached and I'm just blind? No, right? That line's not attached on the stern. Maybe it is. And just the way it was sitting, I was completely wrong. But they wind up getting it on and look pretty good right here up front. So our second crew of the day coming in on approach. And he's got the ladies getting the lines ready. And again, 2 for 2 today, baby. We've got 2 boats coming in, 2 boats that are using lines. I can't see the other side to see whether he's got fenders out or not. But man, we are ahead of the game compared to what we normally see down here. But welcome back, crew, to the greatest show on earth, and that is the Miami Boat Rams channel. I'm your host, Broncos Guru, and today we are down here visiting 79th Street. So we've got the mat to contend with in the back. I wonder if that does, is it sitting on the engine? Like, that's got to mess with the engine cowling, I would imagine, at least. But I wonder if that interferes with the steering at all. So Cap's going to brake check as he's trying to get it lined up. That's got to restrict the steering a little bit. I mean, obviously in the center position would be where the most pressure would be. It would be relieve some as you were turning. I'm wondering if that's the noise we're hearing in the background is that engine on the foam from the mat, though. So we're actually triple fendering it up. So we are definitely 2 for 2 for boats coming in prep today. And 2 for 2 for somebody standing on the rear deck. So Cap makes his approach, has an angle. Definitely going to, I mean, look at how many times he just steered the steering wheel to get it to turn just a little bit. And he tries to get the motor over to bring the stern back over, and instead kicks the bow out. And they're going to wind up missing on this first attempt. So hang on, guys, as Cap's coming back in reverse. And he's going to spin it and try and get it over. And no, oh, nope, hang on. We're really going in reverse this time. He's going to back out and completely reset. As he backs out kind of hot. So there we go. Good call on stepping down when they're moving like that. And Cap's going to completely reset his angle. And I don't disagree with that. A lot of times when you start getting close in on the dock, if things aren't going your way, the best thing you can do is just completely reset it and get the approach you're looking for. Oh, when we're truly resetting, we're switching lines to the other side, and we're going to pick a different dock. Now, I know there's not fenders on the other side, as we saw that side when they were coming in. So backs it up to try and get the boat to come back alongside. We've got somebody else who's walked down the dock here, going to give him a hand, it looks like. As the boat's trying to kick out on him, but our young lady here's grabbed the line, and our girl's still in the bow. She didn't get off. But with the help on the dock, they should be good to go, as we've got another crew coming in behind them. So, yep, our girl's on the dock now, too. Both lines on the dock. They are set. And I can't tell if that alarm's coming from this boat or another boat. So, coming in now. Gonna bring the stern back. Again, the same thing our last captain did, where the bow kicks out because he's bringing the stern over. With twin engines, you don't got to turn the motor into that. You just kick the stern... Excuse me, the port side motor into reverse, and it should bring it back. And the crew winds up stepping off. Everybody's like, let me off this boat. Got lines, though, and this crew should be good to go as well. So she's standing behind the trailer trying to guide him. Not necessarily the best plan because our man's going to bring this trailer back and she's kind of in the way. And as you can see right now, if he keeps coming back where she's at, he's going to hit her with the trailer. She's telling him to get it closer over toward the dock, but I think they'll be all right. I mean, it's a hurricane deck boat. It's a flats boat. You don't necessarily, I mean, unless they're just trying to walk it on, which could be the possibility. So we get shot blocked here, and they're way back now. She had to have moved, right? Okay, yeah, she looks like she's out of the way now. And actually, they look in a good spot where they should be able to actually walk this on if they want. I don't know if they brought it deep enough to walk it on, though. I'd probably sink those wheel wells. So here we go with the old Renegade 38 coming in. As Cap kind of gets it turned. Trying to get a line up, but this is a huge, huge boat, and he's going to want some room to work. And actually, what he really needs is some room on the dock, because this one will take up most of the dock. So a lot of times we'll see boats pulling behind another boat here at 79th. I don't know that he's going to be able to do it, because I think it's just the boat's too big. So here you can see he's kind of shifting his positioning. I don't know if he's shifting the dock he was going after, or he's just trying to hold position, because another boat came sliding in on him. And I think he's going to try and cut him, or at least was thinking about trying to cut him until they started backing it up. Now, one of the reasons that could happen, though, too, is because this boat's smaller. They can get on one of these docks that I don't think he can get on. But here you can see he's backing up as the boat in front of him there is pulling off. And, like, that should be his dock. Probably should be his dock. And the other boat's going to go ahead and snake him and wind up taking it out on him. So, Cap's going to move forward and try and get this one lined up again, but now he's got to kind of wait for the right dock to open up. It's not, I mean, it is a big area down here at 79th, but when you start getting a 38-foot boat, that's probably well over 40 feet with motors hanging off the back down here, it starts to take up some room. So, gonna back up, try and get the angle on this one and come back on this dock. So here we go, gonna make an approach attempt. So his buddy in the bow gives him a light push off on the pole. As he brings it alongside, but I don't see any lines, so nobody's got any lines ready. His buddy only pushed him off the pole, but doesn't have a line in hand to get him tied up. And Cap's telling him to do something now, but that was after he, there it is, the line was there. He just didn't grab it. So Cap has to back out. We're going to call the first one a miss, even though he was really right alongside the dock. Just his crew wasn't ready, but let me know in the comments, whose mistake is that? Is that captain or crew? Because I always still feel the same way. It's on captain to kind of let the crew know what to do, like he just did there. So he's got a line in hand now. I can't tell if that line's attached to anything on the boat or not. So Cap's going to miss this time. And it does look like it is attached. So gonna back up again. And try one more time to run this one. Gotta be careful, starting to slide back toward the trees, and the boat's coming in at an angle now, so he's gonna have to switch it to where he can get it turned back around to get alongside that dock. Coming in a little hot. Gonna have to brake check this one. He needs a neutral brake check so he doesn't kick that bow out again. His buddy does go for the pole toss, gets it wrapped around, and won't be able to get him pulled over. And it's on a mid-cleat cap here. Good. Stop. Neutral, kill the motors. So our next crew comes on an approach with the double fender approach. 2 fenders on the stern, giving him options on to which side they would like to go. So Cap's coming in on his approach. I can't tell if anybody's holding lines yet or not, or if the guy in the kind of teal shirt's trying to grab lines. So they're sliding off the dock. Gonna have to find a way to get it caught, get it brought back over. So there's a lady on the dock willing to help. Goes for the toss. Oh, watch out for your legs. I didn't even see that guy up front. That was a dangerous spot to be in with the body in between the boat and the dock as they were coming in. That could have went wrong quickly. And they wind up missing with the stern line. There we go. Goes for the toss. And they'll get it brought over on the second attempt. But man, that was a risky move. Being up there in the bow, feet dangling over the front as Cap comes in on an approach angle with you dead in the dock's path. That's a way that you definitely can find some injuries pretty quick. And something I never recommend. Don't put yourself between the boat and the dock, ever, if you don't have to. The old Miami rental jet skis, we see these guys down here all the time launching this stuff. Now let me know though, I'm always curious, who the heck is renting this ski? If you show up, rent a ski, they tell you to meet them down here at 79th, pick you up on a pontoon boat, run you out into the bay, and then hand you that ski as your rental at like $200 for an hour, are you gonna be mad? Because this thing is beat to snot. Now it shouldn't matter too much as long as it performs. I mean, you don't own it, so what do you really care what it looks like? But I know people do. I guarantee whoever gets this ski winds up complaining most of the time. Unless the crew uses it as a crew ski. Which is probably, if I had a company like this, what I would do. The crew ski, you don't care. Let the crew run around with it beat up. But it's also easier to rent skis if they look good. People seeing you riding around out there on a flashy, good-looking ski will definitely encourage them to rent more versus a beat-up one. So our girl's trying to get back onto the boat, and the struggle is real down here at 79th as she can't seem to get up. So trying to lend her a hand. This one, what in the world are they doing? No. What? Come on, guys. I mean, if there was only a tool on the boat you could use to help yourself get back into the boat, and only if it wasn't right in front of you. Oh my gosh. Like, if it wasn't 100% obvious, it wouldn't be so bad. But the ladder is sitting on the swim step right in front of you. Literally, her hand is almost on it. Now it is on it. Oh, the light bulb. There we go. Now they can't get it around the hook here at the end. There we go. She's got it now. Oh, man. And we finally decide to take the easier method. I can't believe they didn't see that one. Our guy is struggling with this one. Needs to pop the back hatch on that. It would make his life a whole lot easier as he can see the trailer. But instead, we're going to pull the old 79th Street wobble. We'll use all 3 lanes here to get this one done and get it back down. Which doesn't really matter if he uses all 3 lanes because he's left the skis sitting on the ramp anyway, so it's not like anybody else could use the ramp on the other side also. So in more ways than one, we are blocking all 3 lanes here as they're putting their truck in one spot and blocking the other ramp lanes with the skis themselves just sitting on the ramp. I'm surprised security hasn't said anything. They usually run people off doing this down here. So, coming in on approach, down on 7. Cap's leaving the helm way before they get to the dock. Want to talk about confidence with his angle. He leaves, grabs the pole, steps off. Even stepped off with no line in hand. I don't see a line anywhere right this second. So he stops her and tells her to grab a line as he's walking it up. Always risky if you're a cap, though. If you're going to leave the helm, I would always want to make sure I had a line attached as I was leaving, just as an emergency, just in case. But overall, works out just fine for this crew, and they should be good to go. And speaking of good to go, we're going to go ahead and get out of here as well. Thanks for watching, crew. Hope you enjoyed this episode of Miami Boat Ramps. If you did, please check out our other content. We have Wavy Boats, who does a bunch of great things down at the inlets. My channel, Broncos Guru, do some great comedy boating videos over there as well. And of course, we got Boats versus Haulover, where man and machine take on Mother Nature down at Haulover Inlet. And if you guys haven't already, go ahead and drop an anchor on the subscribe button here.